the professor, our man, Jason Jones.
That reminds me, is your class going on again? You got the class?
No, I didn't teach this semester. Looking at maybe something next year, but yeah, I didn't teach this semester.
Okay.
Are you happy? That was a discussion earlier on the show. Like the Lakers are up 3-1. They look really good. Like I think they've got a legit shot at a title. But we speculate, I bet Jason Jones is happy. Like, nah, Jason's probably just Jason.
Oh, I mean, I'm enjoying this. I mean, everyone laughed at me in February when I said the moves they made could make them legit. Everyone laughed at me when I said they could win this.
Who's this everyone that you talking?
I'm just trying to be like y'all, where I start making up people who said over here that this and this, and I'm just gonna sit here and watch and see what happens in Game 5. Hey, this little underdog team in LA, the play-in team.
Underdog team in LA.
They were 13th in the West, and everyone laughed at them. I mean, Damian tweeting about how the Laker fans must be so upset that the Kings weren't going to help them. I mean,
wait, I tweeted
that. Yeah. Remember when the Kings were resting all their guys against the Warriors, and you're like, yeah, I bet you Laker fans don't like this, and I'm like, we're not bothered. And then the Kings fans jumped me and told me how miserable my life was. Like, this season must be eating you alive. Like, it must kill you that the Kings are better than the Lakers. I'm like,
to be fair,
but okay.
Any of this happened.
To be fair, there were a lot of Laker fans out there saying Mike Brown was running from the Lakers because he benched his guys against the Warriors. They were upset.
And know what I said to all that? Mike Brown was smart to do that. You try to get the better matchup, and the Warriors were a better matchup. I held nothing against them for that. Why would they try to help the Lakers?
Well,
I mean, I don't see why anyone would be shocked that a team would try to be at, and they had nothing to play for. I mean, if they had to say, beaten, with the Spurs at home a week earlier, and they could still get number 2, but they lost to the Spurs and the Mavs, which pretty much ended them getting 2. They had nothing to play for. So I didn't bother me one bit. I'm like, if you don't want to be in that position, don't start the year off 2-10.
The other aspect of that is Mike Brown just wanted to rest his guys. Both Warriors fans and Lakers fans thought it was a sign of something. Well, no, it's a sign that he's trying to rest his guys.
They had nothing. There was nothing to be gained by playing De'Aaron Fox 40 minutes in that game. I just couldn't. I couldn't be mad at that, but I think I was actually surprised going into the series how many people thought the Lakers, the predicting people, I only saw 1 or 2 even give the Lakers a chance. It was like, oh, this is just either the champs. I'm like, no, like I said, that's the reason why I don't watch a lot of talk show stuff, just because the stuff can get so weird. What was the one clip today? Should the Lakers rest their starters?
Oh, man.
And go to Game 6? Is the weather affecting the New York Knicks? I mean, I just get up and turn on Hulu and watch the Tupac doc. I can't. It's ridiculous. And now, what's the story now? Now Steph has no help. Now, he's got 3 former All-Stars in the starting lineup with him, but now he has no help. All these random. First, remember, was it 2 weeks ago? The NBA was conspiring against the Warriors to help the Kings. Now the NBA is conspiring against the Warriors to help the Lakers. Yeah. Since when did everyone hate Steph Curry? Like, since when did this all start? Like, all I heard before the game was, oh, Scott Foster's officiating? Oh, it's going to be 2-2. This stuff has just gotten so wildly hilarious to me. Like, whatever team is losing is the victim of a conspiracy. Like, a team just can't lose anymore. It's got to be there was some grand scheme, like I said, you got the weather Knicks conspiracy. Like, what's the conspiracy in the Suns Denver series? Like, what? Did Denver throw games so that they could give Chris Paul time to heal? Like, what's next? This is just comedy to me at this point. I can't even get
this stuff comes from Warriors fans.
all of it.
And you know, me living in the Bay Area, I have told people for years, all this, they're the best fans in the world is. I live out here. No. A lot of these people who were Warrior fans had Kobe jerseys on before 2015. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. A lot of people who were Warrior fans now had Chris Webber jerseys in 2002. It's just a fact, you know. But hey, what do I know? I'm just, you know, little. What do I know? You know, I mean? You know, I could go on some rants about my philosophy on Bay Area sports fans and why like Warrior fan is completely. It's like you took Niner fan and Giant fan and threw them in a pot. And now you've got every conspiracy and woe with me story in one fan base. It's comedy.
Wow. This is the greatest Jason Jones appearance in history, and we're just getting started. I also
just think about it. You've got bad Niner fan who thinks it's still 1994 or 88. You've got bad Giant fan who thinks they're the A's and they're broke.
Once again, calm down.
You put them. I said bad fan. I didn't say. I said bad fan. You put them in a pot. They go to Chase Center, and now the entire NBA hates Steph Curry.
This is true. Steph, everybody hates on Steph Curry. He never gets foul calls. You know, he's fouled 4 times on every play.
Yeah, and he took the exact same terrible shot that Jordan Poole took.
Exactly. Did you guys see Steve Kerr was not trying to blame the officials, but he blamed the moving screens?
I did.
He was setting moving screens for damn near a decade.
That's all.
I'll never forget this one clip. I swore Draymond was playing right guard on a screen one time. I'm like, what is he doing?
The Marcus Smart joint against Boston?
I forgot there's been so many to pick from. I was just like, oh, come on. Oh, now the referee's out to get you guys? Like, they're like, oh, that wasn't much contact. I'm like I said, I like Draymond, but you can't see Lonnie Walker running and go, you know what? Let me just stick my hip out a little bit. You can't set a screen by grabbing a guy and holding him by the arm.
That's in fact illegal.
And they're like, oh, they're embellishing. And I'm like Steph got away with a horrible flop on Rui Hachimura. You would have thought Rui punched him in the face the way he fell. But I'm like, yeah, let's just go ahead and sell this. The NBA is against like arguably the most popular team they've had in the last 10, 15. The NBA is like, you know what? We don't want Steph to advance. Let's go ahead and put the fix in now on them.
Well, my favorite was, we don't want Steph to advance. We want Sacramento to advance.
The NBA was out to get Steph because they really needed to get Kevin Huerter to the second round. I was like, if some of you people, you guys go on the air and say these things, like, and it's not just fans, it's like actual members of the media who go on air and say things like, it's just not fair. JJ Redick did it. The way they're letting the Kings just grab Steph and hold him. I was like, okay. Yeah, the NBA has decided that, and then the Kings still didn't win the series. So clearly the NBA is doing a terrible job of holding the Warriors back.
NBA messed up. So for the record, I found the tweet that Jason is referring to.
I remember it actually.
James, well, okay. Well, I wish you'd tell the whole story then.
Tell the story.
James tweeted the injury report the night before the Warriors game, and it was lengthy. Laker fans got in James' replies,
I remember that.
Just angry and upset and frustrated. And I quote tweeted saying Laker fans deep in their feelings over this tweet. That's all.
Then I said not really, and I became an emotional person. See, I don't know those people on Twitter. Those aren't my people. I don't know what they do. I try to be rational.
See, I'm just now seeing this. Jason responded, not really, but go on. Well, I didn't mean you.
There's a way he said it, though. There's a way he tweeted it. There's a tone to
Get
his
the
tweet.
Apostrophe in it.
Yeah,
Comma in it.
Just so condescending. Like, look at us with our 3.
And here are the replies. Dude, you're so bitter. LOL.
Oh man, Twitter been a crazy place.
Someone hit with a Michael Scott meme that says, "My little heart can barely take it anymore." I forgot you a bozo Laker fan.
Look at them bozos in the second round, up 3-1. Look at them bozos. I think that might be the thread where someone basically said it's like eating me alive that the Kings are good. And I'm like,
this man called you the Spencer Hawes of reporting.
Man, leave my homie Spencer out of what? I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. But I'm just now seeing this, and it's
I'm the Spencer Hawes. I don't even know what I shoot a lot of threes. I don't know what that means.
That's a wild insult.
It is.
I'm not even sure if it's an insult. I don't even know what that even means.
I don't know how I'd feel if someone said we were the Spencer Hawes of radio.
I would take offense to it.
That wasn't even like a Republican conservative take. I don't understand.
I would take offense to that. I don't know why I would take offense, but I'd take offense to that.
Anything.
I know coming from a Kings fan, it was not a compliment. I know it wasn't a nice thing to say to me, but I couldn't really be angry because I don't even know what that means. I'm like, okay, I guess. I'm like, man, step your insult game up, man. I can't even, okay, whatever. You know, like I said, hey, the Lakers are just a scrappy bunch of underdogs. Had to win a play-in game.
The We Believe Lakers again. Get this.
I'm just stating facts. Are they not the 7 seed? Did they not have to win a play-in game that they were losing to get in? And they've played the number 2 seed Memphis Grizzlies, which have the great Ja Morant, the defensive player of the year, a second team all defensive player in Dylan Brooks. I mean, then they're facing the defending NBA champions, who even the NBA couldn't stop from beating the Kings. For them to, if they manage to win this series against Adam Silver, who clearly, come on.
Now LeBron James will have won the 3 hardest NBA championships in history.
This has just been hilarious for me. I'm just cracking up at this stuff.
So let me ask you, Jay, and we don't have no control over this. There ain't no jinx, nothing like that. You think it's over? You think the Lakers got them?
I think they do. I look at you had 2 blowouts. The Lakers have won both close games, and I think we need to give Darvin Ham a little credit here.
Yeah.
People are acting like no one's coaching this team, but he's made some really good decisions. The Warriors go extra small. He doesn't panic and say, you know what we got to do? We got to get AD in like 4. He doesn't panic. Yeah, they were getting killed, but and then he says you got to make an adjustment. You know what, AD? Thanks for keeping us in the game in the first half. I need you to focus on this. We're going to run stuff that. Like they kept somehow letting Steph get switched on to LeBron. It was just like, I just think that, and it's like the Warriors right now are the team that keeps trying to find something different.
Yep.
And I think you got to give, and then like Darvin saying, you know what? I'm going to go to a guy I haven't played in a while. And, these last couple of games, Lonnie Walker, has helped them. I just think he's put, he's not afraid that, hey, D-Lo, you ain't playing well. Get in there, Dennis. I think he deserves probably more credit than he's getting. But I can't see the Lakers dropping 3 straight, especially when they're going to get if they don't win tomorrow, you get game 6 at home. I can't see how this thing goes 7. I don't think the Warriors have enough to hand. What are they going to do? Kevon Looney was Moses Malone. Now he, it's like.
Well, the crazy thing, he was Moses Malone against the Lakers too, and then you just sat him.
No, he's sick. He's sick.
Still?
I don't know. I'm just going off of what I read. I don't know.
And the Green brothers are just running around getting technicals, looking like the Harlem Heat on the bench.
Somebody said my man Draymond just can't bear to like eliminate LeBron, so he just made sure he threw that pass. I mean, the slander is just wild now. And then
frankly, he's the greatest. What do you want me to do?
And like I said, I can't. And I'm gonna say this, and I know it's not popular to say. We all know about Game 6 Clay, but how come no one talks about Game 3 Clay, Game 4 Clay? How every year in the playoffs, Warrior fans are complaining about where's Clay, and then he have a Game 6, and we just forget.
They don't even really.
Can we didn't say it before Game 6 versus Sacramento because we didn't want to be those guys.
I just think for all the
not real.
For all the hate that Jordan Poole is getting right now, which I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve some criticism. It ain't just him.
Mm-mm.
I mean, every time it's like I don't have the numbers, but I'm pretty sure Clay's numbers drop considerably when he has to dribble to shoot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and the Lakers have done a good job outside of Game 2 of making him have to dribble, and it changes. I mean, I thought the Lakers up front would just have too much length, and then that would be a problem. And so far it's happening. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure my mentions will be full of angry Warrior fans telling me to get out the Bay and go back to LA.
That's all right. It's worth it.
Hey, you mentioned Jordan Poole a little bit. We've talked about the whole dynamic of his series, what has gone on with him this year. How much of a role do you think the punch with Draymond Green has played in his entire season? Like, it's been up and down, it's been rocky. I feel like there's a lot of distrust with Jordan Poole, with the organization, with the coaching staff. I just think it's played a major role in his season. What do you think about all that?
Yeah, I don't know Jordan well enough to know about that part. What I do know is that we've seen, even going the last year, Jordan Poole off the bench is not the same as Jordan Poole the starter. But you're not going to not play Steph to get Jordan Poole some run.
Mm-hmm.
So it just looks like he's struggling in that kind of find his way, and it's happened all year. When Steph was hurt, Jordan Poole's a different person, a different player. But it just looks like at times like he doesn't know what to do, and then you get that one-on-one. I'm gonna try to dribble and beat guys, off the dribble, and as long as he wants. And the thing about the Warriors, you even watched last night, there were moments where if it wasn't Jordan Poole, it'd be Wiggins going to one-on-one. That's a win for the defense. Steph's not gonna give it to Steph, and Steph has got a triple-double. But you want to do all that? Go for it. So I just think that I think in a lot of ways last year there was a rush to anoint him as a star. I still always go back and forth with our boy Bonte about that. I'm like, stop calling him a superstar. He's a young player who's had a good season, not a star. And I just think that now you look at the contract he got, just not what it's expected. I just think he struggles with that. Whether he's, I think if he were starting, it'd be different. And even like, yesterday, we're going to start another guard. We're going to start Gary Payton. We're not going to start you. So, I mean, I can't imagine he's in the best mood. And then you have that whole thing they're talking about the post game where how it all got quiet. And we're reading, it all got quiet in the locker room when Jordan was talking. And then once he left, the music starts playing again. I was like, man. And like I told someone, it reminds me of what happened with Harrison that last year there, where he's not your best player, and it's not only on him, but he becomes a convenient target. And I'm not saying Jordan Poole's played well; he clearly hasn't. But I mean, when I'm watching Clay struggle, when I'm watching these other guys have issues, when I'm watching these lineups change, where JaMychal Green goes from not playing at all to he's starting, then he's not. There's a lot of other things going on besides just Jordan Poole with that team. But as you know, Kenny, if you watch the entire league all year, these are who the Warriors have been all year. They've been very inconsistent.
Yeah,
up and down. This is not, they've been up and down all year. I mean, there was a point of the season where if they were down by 15, I would just say they must be on the road. I mean, this has been a very they're doing what teams that are about 500 do. And I think that's the trade deadline. The Lakers are like, what, 25-10? So I think at this point, maybe the Lakers are just better than them.
And to your point as well, the Warriors doing what they do all year. They've blown road leads all year.
Yeah.
Like what happened last night was something they've done a number of different times throughout the season.
Yeah, they were up 7 to start the fourth. Jordan Poole was not on the floor. Within 90 seconds, that game is tied. That wasn't Jordan Poole's fault. Man took like 4 shots last night. I mean, they were some
tell
bad.
them that. Yeah, don't tell them that. They need someone to shoot their arrows at, man. And Jordan,
they don't want to
all of them.
They're going to ignore the fact that Clay took a jumper that was just like, I don't know what he was doing.
Well, they're not going to ignore that. They're going to point that out. They're going to ignore the fact Steph did it.
He took the Jordan Poole shot. And then Steph was on the floor.
He did.
And everyone's like, well, you got to let Steph do that. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, but hey, Jordan did the same thing, and y'all wanted to cut him. And then
Jordan was even more wide open.
I was going to say, Jordan wasn't covered by Anthony Davis when he took that shot.
And Steph is on his back with a timeout and threw the ball out of bounds.
That was a travel, too, by the way.
And
did he just think someone was there?
I have no idea. But everyone
glossed trying to avoid the travel because that was a travel.
And they glossed over all that to go blame Jordan Poole, who was not on the court. Draymond threw the ball to Anthony Davis.
The hell of a pass to Anthony Davis, though.
Hey, man.
It's a hell of a pass.
Exactly.
And that was my point with Harrison.
Play went exactly as he planned.
That was my point with Harrison back in the day. In that game 7, I was there. Steph throwing the ball behind his back out of bounds, all type of shenanigans. Who we going to blame for the entire thing? Harrison Barnes cost us the entire series. No.
Oh, don't forget about Draymond Green's suspension.
Where he played another 2 games.
Yeah.
Game of his career in game 7, but that's okay.
Harrison Barnes. It's like Harrison Barnes and Jordan are going to be that Spider-Man meme, except Jordan already got paid by them. So
What do you think happens with Harrison here?
That's a tough one. I mean, I think fit-wise, there's and a lot of reasons to want to keep Harrison around, but they got to get another front court player up there, who can help with the rebounding and what maybe works against Harrison, so to speak. I would expect him to be back. I don't think there's going to be some crazy offer out there, but you draft Keegan at 4, and even going into the draft, a lot of folks, the scouts I talked to, told me that's baby Harrison Barnes, basically. Like, he's Harrison. Like, so you draft him, he has a good season. Do you want to expand Keegan's role and maybe change some things? I mean, I think it's I wouldn't be mad if they brought Harrison back. I think it wouldn't be on the right deal, because even if you say hypothetically gave him a 2-year deal, as long as Harrison's healthy, you're gonna if you want to trade Harrison a year later, there's going to be value for him. Harrison's not old; it feels like he is because we've been hearing about Harrison since he was a high school kid in Iowa. Right. It feels like he's a lot older than he actually is. So I would expect him to be back, but you never know. A lot of times you expect things, and guys will say things like there's mutual interest. Mm-hmm. Every time I hear that, almost things like half the time the guy goes to another team. Remember a year ago there was the whole story with Malik Monk. I'll take less money to stay with the Lakers. I'm like, Malik's gone. I'm like, he's gone. Every time a guy says that, he's gone, and you can't blame anybody for that. You do what's best for you. So I think I could, I think I could really see Harrison staying around, especially now that the team is a playoff team. He played a role in that, but it all depends on how they want to go about, addressing some of the issues they had in the postseason.
One of the things that I talked about today is when you look at the Kings' situation over the next couple of years, it feels like this decision with Harrison, whether to bring him back or possibly get somebody that you think fits a little better and could be an upgrade, it seems to be like the one move you could make for the next couple of seasons. And you look at Fox is going to be here, Herter's under contract, you're going to re-sign Sabonis, Keegan is under contract. All like for your starters, there's only one move, it feels like, for the next 2 years that you could make. And I think it's right now. And part of me feels like that's why you might want to take a swing for the fences if you feel like you can upgrade that position over Harrison Barnes.
I think, yeah, you definitely got to look at it. Yeah, you definitely, ways you could do it. And I don't have their cap stuff in front of me off the top of my head, but is there I don't know if Harrison would want to be a reserve, but is there a way you get someone in to plug in as a starter and you keep Harrison around as a sixth? There's different ways to do things.
Yeah.
And I think that Harrison and the Kings has been a good fit, overall, and I think that there's probably a reasons why you would want to keep him around. But you gotta explore ways to make the team better, and maybe making the team better means keeping Harrison and that and someone, So I just think that, like you said, you got a window now where you got a chance to go out there and get some. It's almost like talking about quarterbacks in their contract. Where you got a guy like a young starter on a rookie deal before you got to pay Keegan. Before you have to extend Sabonis.
Right.
Go, see what you can do to bolster this thing up now. So that's going to be a tricky one for him too, because you look around the league too. I mean, I look at some of the teams that are even still playing. I can see a guy like Harrison fitting in on Miami. I could see a team. Depending on what the contract. I'm not trying to. I'm going to put a disclaimer. I'm not saying that's going to happen or that anyone's told me. I'm just saying, Harrison has a lot of value, I think, around the league and places where he could go. It was just weird this year that no one was talking about trading for him because the Kings were winning games. It used to be the annual what good team could Harrison Barnes help?
Yeah.
So yes, I think this. I would say I would be shocked if Harrison is not back, but I can see going either way and it making sense, given the Kings have a plan to replace him. And so far, I think one thing Monty has shown us is that there tends to be if he's letting the guy walk, there's a reason why.
We appreciate you, Jay, man. Great stuff as always. We'll be tuned in your underdog Lakers, see if they can do the unthinkable.
Playing team trying to make the conference finals. Who would ever? This is a Hollywood story, baby. Just who would ever thought? Who would ever thought? Just a bunch of scrappy players trying to make the most of it.
We appreciate you, Jay. Thanks as always, man.
All right, y'all. Take it easy.